Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm delighted to share with you this new playlist, which is going to be called Ignore the Noise. Now, what is this playlist about? Well, rather than my usual personal finance, investing, my podcast, and obviously I have my mini vlog series, this is going to be about what's happening in the world. We live in an extremely busy world. It's hard to navigate through such a minefield. There's information being pumped at us all the time, and I want to share my thoughts and opinions on all different topics, conversations that I might have during the day, whatever it might be in relation to. I want to be able to jump on the camera and talk about it, and hopefully it will relate to you, the viewers, and again, we can interact in the comments below. Now, what I want to start with today is how to get started as an entrepreneur, because this word, being an entrepreneur, is thrown about left, right, and center, and it's definitely overused. But what does it actually mean? Like, how do you know if you want to be an entrepreneur? Well, the definition of that word for me is someone who wants to do more. Whether that be you want to start your own business, whether you just want to be healthier, whether you want to live a better life, whatever it might be, but it's someone who wants more from the norm. And it's very hard to know where to get started. And these are conversations that I have all the time. We're in a world right now where there are so many options to make money. We are in a world where there's an overload of information. We don't really know what road to go down, and there's this pressure of time. We're running out of time. If we haven't made it, or we haven't made some form of a decision by 20, 25 or 30, then we need to hurry our ass up because time is running out. And that's really not the case. And certainly this episode on how to get started and ignoring the noise is all about slowing down and really understanding what makes you happy. Ultimately, whatever you do as an entrepreneur needs to make you happy, because as and when you come up against hard times, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, it's going to be very hard to jump that hurdle. So my recommendation to anyone sitting there in a 9-to-5 or just knows that they want to do more is that you just get started. And what I mean by that is, first place you go is you have to educate, because if you don't know what you want to do and you're not learning, you're never going to really understand what's for you, what you take to. So the first port of call is pick up a book or plug in audio. One of the best investments I ever made is AirPods, okay? I mean, I live with these AirPods for phone calls, learning, big believer of learning on the move, you know, really leverage your time. And it literally is about just buying that first book, downloading Audible, getting your first 30 free days, and just start listening and learning. And when you start hearing of success stories, you start to make your own path. It gets you thinking about what you want to do. And that's the most important thing, is you activate your brain. The second thing is to always write down what you want to do. You know, pick up a whiteboard, or over here, you know, I've got multiple diaries. Always write down what you want to do, because storing ideas and goals and what you want to achieve in your head is great, but an hour or two passes, or even a day passes, and they're wiped, they're gone. Alternatively, start up a notes page on your phone and start writing everything down that you want to do. A great way to process and start the process of being productive is to start jotting and planning your day down in the evening for the following day. So it's all about structure, routine, discipline, and these are basics, and they're habits that you need to get into, because how you get started into personal branding, social media, you know, digital marketing, all ties into the same thing around building a business, or you want to be financially successful, whatever it is you want to do, you know, you want to be healthy and fit, whatever it is, it's all backed by routine, structure, good habits, writing down goals, and just getting started and learning along the way. Because one thing I have found is that it's always true. When you speak to someone who's been really successful in the industry that you want to be successful in, you'll always hear them say it took me 10, 20, 30 years. The problem is that we're dealing with now, and this is why I want to ignore the noise, is when we open up social media, or we're looking on TV, or whatever it might be, wherever we're getting exposure, is it seems to be very instant. It seems to be now. Success seems to be tomorrow, and we're too late. It should have happened yesterday for us, and that's not the case. Most successful people, it takes 10 to 20 to 30 years, and not many people like the idea of being in Dubai at 40 years old, because we're seeing so many young people in Dubai on jet skis, and it looks like they're in their 20s. You've got to remember, we don't know their backstory. We don't know if they've saved up some money to go out there and portray a really wealthy life. We don't know if they have rich parents. We don't know if they took inheritance. We don't know the full story. So you have to take it with a pinch of salt and just focus on your own journey. Really just sort of become humble and almost content with knowing that it's going to take a while. You're going to need to consistently learn. I can't stress this enough, is that if you don't feel productive or you're not having a great day, try and switch whatever you're doing for learning. If you're not able to generate a new client, or you're not able to get that step ahead in your business, take a step back, plug in audio or read a book and just continue learning. Learning re-sparks motivation. It allows you to adapt, learn new ways of working, take on new methods. It gets your brain thinking. So come the following day when you're ready to hit the ground running as an entrepreneur, that's what you want to be. You've got to spin multiple plates. It's going to be hard. And this is what I mean. Everyone likes to use that word entrepreneur, but what does it really mean? Well, it means someone that doesn't look at the clock. You know, I use this saying quite a lot, but if you want to get to the stage where you don't have to look at the price when you buy things, you're gonna have to realize that there isn't a time where you can say, okay, I've got to switch off now. You may have to work from 6 in the morning. Granted, you might have a couple of breaks during the day and you might still be going at 1 in the morning. You know, for me, I'm spinning multiple plates right now. And sometimes I wake up and I sit there and I think, oh my God, it's just killing me. I'm knackered. I would say over the last year, especially through the pandemic, this is the first time I actually feel physically tired. I don't know whether it's because I'm getting on a bit and, you know, as the years pass, I'm still pretty young, but I do feel it because I'm spinning multiple plates. But I know that if I'm putting in the work now, later I won't have to. And remember, with social media, try and always be more of a creator than a consumer, because if you start consuming more than you're creating, then you start to believe what you see. Not every male has the perfect body. Not every female has the perfect beach body. Not everyone is a millionaire. So it's just really understanding and just taking it for what you see, and remembering that you have to take it with a pinch of salt, and that there is a story behind why that person might be in Dubai. There might be a story why they're driving a Ferrari. They might have hired it for the day. And again, I say this, every time I go to London, you know, I turn up in a really nice Uber, and that's what's shown in my B-roll footage. But that's an Uber. You know, that's not my car. It costs like £13 to get a Mercedes 21 plate SL500. That's an SL500 for about £13. Okay, but if you were to look at that on the video, you'd think, wow, that looks expensive. It does, because obviously you're putting that picture together to create some nice content. And if you are a creator, remember, offer value, because building a business, trying to do really well in life, you have to keep adding value. Okay, to the market. Whatever market you're in, you have to add value. You have to find something that's fat and bloated that you can add value to, and then you can scale to the masses. Okay, so on another episode, we're going to be talking about busting business myths, or it might be on another playlist, but this is a topic that's going to be coming up shortly. Is that, you know, to start a business, it is just about getting started, and you know, you have to tick the boxes off. There are so many ways that you can earn money, develop a brand, marketing, get sponsorships. There is no right or wrong way, but the most important thing is that you say to yourself, this year or this month or this day, I'm going to start. And there's a couple of key points here when you do get started. It's knowing that, is it working? How much money am I spending on it? And how much time have I spent on this new avenue? And if it isn't for you, it's okay to accept that. And it's not a failure, it's just a way that didn't work, but you have to cut your losses at some point, because you have to cut off, you can't drag a dead horse, like the saying goes, you can't flog a dead horse. So if something's not working and you've spent some money on it, just accept that that was an avenue that you had to go down, it was a part of the process, and then you move on to the next thing. And eventually you'll find your way. Another thing I would say is keep meeting people, keep networking, keep being open, be really nice to people, build strong relationships, because the most important thing with relationships is that also opens new doors. You can only go so far on your own as an entrepreneur, and don't get me wrong, I mean for me, I do a lot of things on my own and it works like that. I've got no overheads, I work in this office, but I have a very strong network around me. So essentially, yes, I'm flying solo or riding solo, but I have a lot of people that I can tap into. So I almost have the power team, I'm just not paying for the power team. I do have certain VAs and people that you can pay for online, and Fiverr.com, you know, for services and stuff, but I do fly solo, but I have a very good network around me. And if you're someone who's similar, just make sure that if you do plan on spinning all those plates yourself, that you have people that you can tap into and speak with and learn from. And you know, there's that whole take of, do you get a mentor or not? My personal recommendation would be that you might not need a mentor straight away, because we have a lot of resources available to us: YouTube, the internet, books, podcasts, audio, you know, networking events. There's a lot of free resources to go out there and learn what you need to for the industry that you're trying to get into, to be the greatest entrepreneur that you can be. However, if you are someone that would like that helping hand, then of course you can reach out to a mentor. The only thing I would say is make sure they're credible, they're not too far ahead of your journey, and you're getting a good price for what you're paying, and that they're really going to serve a purpose for you and the money that you're paying. Because look, I'm going to wrap this up now. To get started is all about starting from the beginning, writing it down. What do you want from life? What do you want from your health? Financially, what do you want? And also tap in and find out your reason why, because as and when you come up against hard times, you will need to know that you can fall back on a reason that will push you through. If it's purely financials and you're someone who's young or whatever age you are, and you're thinking, I want the Lambo, I want the lifestyle, that's all great and there's nothing wrong with that. But believe me, you get to a point where you think the money isn't the drive anymore. It's about the value, how many people you can help, the brand, you know, and what you can leave behind, you know. So when people think of you, they know that you're the expert in that industry and you're the person that can help. And that's the key word. Who can help them? How can you help other entrepreneurs when you get to a stage that you're fulfilled? It shouldn't always be about the financials. So that's just, you know, I'm talking firsthand here. The money shouldn't drive you. The money's great. The money is a vehicle where you can have nice things, but ultimately it can't be the drive, because at some point when you hit a brick wall and the money's not there, that money will not drive you through. Whereas if you've got a good reason, a family member, you need to help someone, you have children, you've got, you know, the fear of being broke, those are reasons that will make you successful. So just get started, forget about imposter syndrome. You have every right as everyone else to go out there and try and achieve your goals, regardless of what other people may or may not think. It's not their life, you only get one shot. I really hope you enjoyed this first episode of Ignore the Noise. This was how to get started. Again, any comments I would love below. I'll get back to everyone. Please do hit like and subscribe and share with as many people as you can. I really hope that this new playlist relates to a lot of people, and I can't wait to see you all very soon.